Now, it is an uncomfortable question to ask, especially given the high price that Kenyans are paying in Somalia and on Kenyan soil in the fight against terrorism. What is Kenya's military exit strategy from Somalia? If such a plan exists, what is it tied to? Can it be tied to a specific time frame? John Allen Namu continues our coverage tonight and puts the question to one of Kenya's most senior military officers operating in Somalia. What is Kenya's military endgame?
It's now no secret that Somalia is at the heart of the question of terrorism in Kenya. From the many terrorists said to have been trained in a war-torn country to the actual plots that have been traced to terror groups there. But since October 2011, a new link has emerged: the involvement of Kenya's military inside Somalia. Since Kenya's defense forces crossed into Somalia, Kenya has been hit 87 times, with well over 300 Kenyans paying the ultimate price.
Another ambulance, this is not enough.
From the Westgate siege to the latest twin grenade attacks in Mombasa, the toll of terrorism is heavy. That weighed heavily on the mind of Brigadier Walter Raria, Kenya's commander of AMISOM troops stationed in Somalia's Juba region, as he prepared to answer a set of questions we sent him earlier today.
It is for this reason that we are in AMISOM here, to make sure that those in Somalia and our people in Kenya are safe. If we were not here, then it means more attacks of that nature would be seen from time to time.
But even with a noble justification, security analysts say no army can be on foreign soil forever, and that Kenya must begin to think of an exit plan. This was President Uhuru Kenyatta's response to that question just 8 days after the 21st September 2013 Westgate attack.
We did not go there. They came here. We went there to help them bring order in their own nation. And I want to be categorically clear. We will stay there until they bring order in their nation.
His statement was long resolved to deal with the Al-Shabaab, something that many will agree Kenya needs, but was vague on just how long restoring order would take.
AMISOM will be in Somalia unless it seems to be forever.
In reading Kenya's plan on Somalia, security analyst Andrew Franklin doesn't see an endgame with a timestamp, and he has been looking for a long time. On a desk in his office sits folders of documents and newspaper clippings that he has collected over years. He admits that his methods are old school, but they help him read security trends.
A link to Al-Shabaab.
Since October 2011, the retired U.S. Marine has built a number of folders on Kenya's fight against the Al-Shabaab and its involvement in Somalia. Franklin asserts that in Sector 2, the region of Somalia that Kenya's AMISOM contingent is stationed in, the troops there may be overstretched.
They have been rotating units in and out on 6-month tours, and we have our troops spread out across the entire border, basically defending themselves.
Brigadier Raria disagrees.
We have done quite well. We have achieved much, but a lot remains to be done. The kind of achievements, first of all, is to make sure that the administration can govern most of the areas, which we have done by securing most of the towns.
But does Kenya have a laid-down strategy on when and under what circumstances it intends to withdraw its troops? Not yet, according to Brigadier Raria.
The faster we liberate areas, the easier it becomes for the force commander to draw an exit strategy in line with also the political guidance.
The nature of war has changed. Kenya has to have an objective, and our objective is not the same as the West.
The milestones for leaving Somalia cannot be looked in the context of KDF alone. It is within the AMISOM context that is driven by the African Union initiatives that will draw down the troops not only of KDF but of AMISOM as a whole. AMISOM clearly has its own timelines, but they are pegged entirely on the threat in Somalia. The more we reduce the threat, then the easier it is to get out.
On this front, there are small victories, but with a lot more needing to happen. In August last year, we went on a night patrol with a contingent of Ghanaian and Nigerian police officers in what was, prior to 2012, a notoriously dangerous part of Mogadishu, Bakara. This is the Bakara region, and we wouldn't have been able to do this 2 years ago, much less do it today at night. But this shows, at least from the defensive positions, that Mogadishu still has some safety issues. But given the fact that we are here at night in the middle of Mogadishu, once said to be one of the most unsafe towns in the world, it shows that the government is taking some strides forward in trying to make this town and this country a little safer. This year, more gains have been made. In Korole, 109 kilometers away from Mogadishu, farmers have been able to return to their fields. And in Marka, local militia groups are now being trained to defend themselves against the Al-Shabaab. There is a definite yearning for Somalia's people to be rid of the Al-Shabaab. But in Kenya, the debate is likely to go on about the effectiveness of the strategy for doing that and just how long it will take before Kenyan troops can come back home. John Allen, KTN.